why these 4 countries can be can be in that rank. The U.S. cannot reach the same level of rank. Like in the survey, and she's trying to explain that in the book. Individual self-sufficiency and independent. That's the important word.
Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome back to 400 Talks. Speak up, level up. Okay, so today I'm your host, Miss Putri Octavia. Today we are going to move to a mental journey to the north. We often hear stories about the Nordic countries, Mr. Eddie, such as Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, having the best schools and also the happiest people. But is it real? So we will discuss about this. And now I have a special guest today, everyone. He is a fellow educator and a good friend who actually lived and studied in Finland, right, Mr. Eddie?
Correct.
Okay, so please welcome Mr. Eddie. You can say hello
to
everyone.
Hi.
How are you today, Mr. Eddie?
Alhamdulillah, good. How are you?
I'm also good. So it's very nice to have you in the session.
I'm happy to be here.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Eddie, today we are going to talk about books. That's very interesting. The book is called The Nordic Theory of Everything by Anu Partanen. So, even though I haven't lived there, but the points are very interesting to talk, and I want to fact check them with your real life experience because you have already lived in Finland. Is it right?
Yeah, I studied there from 2002 until 2006, if I'm not mistaken, or 2005.
Okay.
But I stayed there until 2009 early 2010, I think.
All right. So I have already with the best person in here.
Well, at least I have some experience. I'm not sure if that's...
Okay, that's okay, Mr. Eddie. So can we talk about this book, Mr. Eddie?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you can tell us about what is this book actually tell about. Is there any interesting point? Maybe?
Yeah, actually, I read this book somewhere in 2017, 2018.
Okay.
The book is written by Anu Partanen. She is a journalist who works previously in Finland, but then somewhere in 2010 she decided to move to the United States.
Okay.
And I think she's also worked as a journalist in the U.S. And while she was living there, she's quite surprised. In the beginning of 2010, actually, there are many surveys done by a lot of organizations around the world, and surveys like happiness index, survey like corruption perceptions index, and survey about PISA score. And those survey, there are some other survey, actually rank Nordic countries. Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Iceland actually like almost on the top of the list, almost consistently every year and in every survey. So she's trying to. She was curious. Is there something in Nordic culture or in Nordic mentality that actually can be explained why these 4 countries can be can be in that rank in that survey, and I think she also tried to compare what happened in the United States. She loved staying in the United States, and at the end she became the citizen of the United States, and she's trying to explain why the U.S. cannot reach the same level of rank. Like in the survey, and she's trying to explain that in the book. So there are some aspect of some aspect that she's trying to explain in the book, aspect of education and also healthcare, and also happiness, and also in daily life, like what makes it different, something like that.
Wow.
I think it's quite interesting book.
Yeah. That's very interesting, Mr. Edi,
Yeah.
to hear the stories from this book.
Yeah.
Okay, so from this research from the journalist,
Yeah.
she found that the Nordic countries are on the top PISA scores, education, healthcare, and
at least in high rank actually. Now, like
The
PISA
higher
score
rank.
now is the highest in Singapore. But
yes.
they are still in the top 10.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's very interesting because I often hear that about the education in Nordic countries. They have short school hours, no homeworks. Yeah, so how it can be support the students and the education system to be in the high level.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you explain about this?
Yeah. First, answering your question, they do have shorter school hour. They start their school at 9, and usually they finish at 2 or 3 o'clock, depends on the grade. But usually by 3 o'clock in the afternoon they're already finished. So almost like 6 hours. So they're let's say after cutting with the time with the lunch hour, I think they have only like roughly 5 hours of school days, of school hour, and. Is it effective? It seems that it's still doesn't harm their education with that short hours. They still rank quite good in the PISA score survey. And also in general, they have good numeracy. They're quite good in numeracy and literacy. I think one of the things that they try to solve in there is that they try in Finland. They have small groups learning. So that's part of the intracurricular that they have. So let's say that one student have a difficulty in math, in some topic of math. They will put that student in small group with special teacher, and they try to deal with the difficulty of that the student face. So they try to make sure that everyone get the same competence there, and. What makes it work in Finland is that they're quite flexible. So that small groups that actually can last for several years. If a student really need special attention, they will have special teacher will watch them from the first grade until the end. So I think that's what makes it quite efficient. So they really help the problem that the student face with the small group there. Of course, it needs more resources. So in Finland, it's very common that in one lesson, actually, we have 2 teachers. So there are 2 teachers that dealing with in one subject. One teacher is explaining, the other teachers help the student one by one.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the quality of education there focus on the quality, and also try how the students can get the same level of understanding.
Correct.
Yeah, it's interesting. And let's move on to the next question, Mr. Edi. It's still related that the students there, if I'm not wrong, they can get the education for free, healthcare for free. So, but they need to pay high tax.
They need to pay high tax.
So
correct.
Did people there complain about it, or did they see is it fair because they also get the same access for contributing by paying the tax?
Yeah, before that, maybe I should mention a bit about what it said in the book. So the book actually tried to explain like why this thing can happen in Finland and what's behind it. So the title of the book is the Nordic Theory of Love. So what is the Nordic Theory of Love? So the core idea about the Nordic Theory of Love is that the most important thing for I think for people in Finland or in Nordic in general is that they can be independent, and then at the same time they can have freedom, and they want to see their society in some extent equal. So that's already in their mentality, I think, that they want to see that. So even they are like quite introverted as people, but they don't want to see other citizen of that country actually suffers because of the lack of basic needs. I think that's we can sense that in daily life. So for a Nordic citizen, the most important value in their life is that what do you call that? The individual self-sufficiency and independent. That's the important word. Individual self-sufficiency and independent. It means that how can you be, you can have a basic life that being provided, that you can go on with your life. That's the first thing. So by having that value as the core of the Nordic society, I think we can explain about what you about your question.
Oh, okay.
So, or is that will they what the policy, the first policy that the Nordic government actually has, right, since 1916, since 1950, is that they want to provide the basic necessities of their citizens. That's the most important policy that they have. So it means that they will make sure that every citizen will get education, basic education, and they will have enough to eat. That for sure. And then when they get sick, they can be brought to the hospital, and they can be sure that they will be treated. I think those three things, and of course there are a few other things that they will take care of the elderly. This is something that the country actually will take care, and also the babies, the small children. They will make sure that they will be treated well. They will get health care. They will get what do you call that? Daycare. Like quality free daycare. Yes, they support it with the tax, and they pay higher tax, but let me explain here. Actually, it's not that high. I think the highest salary people that needs to pay, I think it's only 30%. 30%. And much of them less than 30%. I paid less than 20%. But there are sometimes some people that can be taxed up to 50 or 60%, but they are the super rich. So it is, yeah. Will they complain that they get? Yeah, some people complain, but most of the people, they don't, because they see the benefit.
I see.
They pay tax, yes, but you don't have to pay a lot of insurance. You pay tax a lot, but you don't have to pay like hundreds of millions or tens of millions rupiah, for example, in basic education. This is including free university education. And you don't have to think about what happened to you when you're old. The state will take care of you.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to complain about that.
Wow, it's interesting, yeah. Okay, so the government really cares about the society, yes? And
at least that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. And maybe that's why who make the society there become the happiest people. Yes.
Yeah, but the happiest in terms of that, they can fulfill their basic needs. But they're not very cheerful society. They're not.
Okay, but at least they can fulfill their basic needs, yes.
Correct.
Okay, so it's very interesting, Mr. Edi, but so the last questions in here, I'd like to ask you to maybe give us maybe one mindset or practice that we can also apply in Indonesia as we live also as a teacher, maybe at school.
Yeah, so I think one thing that I learned a lot from them, from the Nordic society, is that I think the punctuality, I think we have to adopt that. So try to be punctual with your work. And then the second, whenever you do your work, try to do it with responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah, responsibly. Yeah, there. So I think that's quite important. And the second, try to enjoy the nature. Yeah, the environment around us. I think that's three things that they always do over there.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Eddie.
Thank you.
So there are many interesting points that we can take from the sessions. So we can start to be responsible and don't forget to also enjoy.
Enjoy and to be on time.
Yes, to be on time in anything. All right, so I really like this perspective about Nordic countries, Mr. Eddie. So maybe we can discuss in the next opportunity.
Maybe, yeah.
So yeah, it seems like the Nordic theory of everything. So it's not just about politics, about economics, but about how we value human relationship and well-being.
Correct.
So thank you so much once again, Mr. Eddie, for joining us on 400 Talks. Speak up, level up. Okay, so this was a fantastic discussion. I can't wait to have another session. And for our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. So see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.